preparing to blow the lid off the biggest political cover-up in American history as more troubling information emerges about former President Joe Biden's mental decline. Now, according to a brand new bombshell book, one insider made it clear that there were, count them, 5 people running the country, and Biden was not one of them. So the question is obvious: who was running the show? Well, according to one cabinet secretary, it was Biden's aides who held all the power.
If that's not the biggest scandal of the century, I don't know what is. But now we actually have the names of those people who surrounded Joe Biden, who were potentially calling the shots of our entire country. No wonder our entire country went to crap. We had inflation going crazy, gas prices crazy. They emptied our freaking reserves. They put in all these new Green Deal style policies. Our country was a living wreck and the laughing stock of the world for the past 4 years due to people like this. But what are the names that were referenced? We'll take a look at this article. And this is on New York Times. I have shared this before. Biden doctor and Neera Tanden are among 5 summoned by the House GOP after ex-president's prostate cancer diagnosis. Who were those 5 people referenced? Well, Dr. Kevin O'Connor, Anthony Bernal, Annie Tomasini, Ashley Williams, and Neera Tanden each received letters from the House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer demanding that they sit for transcribed interview over the next month with committee members and staff, with subpoenas likely if they fail. Wow. So we've got these names out, and what's interesting, those aren't the only names that have been thrown out there.
This is the financial system of the future, Jesse, and we have to encourage it. What the Biden administration was doing, and let's face it, it wasn't Biden. Elizabeth Warren controlled the Autopen during that administration. She, for some reason, has this pathological hatred of the crypto community. She wants to drive this community offshore. She doesn't want it happening in the United States. That's the wrong policy for the United States. We want all the innovation happening here. This is a financial system of the future. It's cheaper, it's more efficient. We want it happening here, Jesse, and I think people are thrilled that President Trump is making that possible.
So David Sack, the crypto czar, happens to throw out there Miss Pocahontas as another potential candidate for the Autopen. Very, very interesting. I've got a lot more to share with you, and we even have potential names for the gatekeepers. But just a quick break from my sponsor. Well, we've been told all our lives that these wrinkle creams that we are using on our face are the way to look younger. However, according to Dr. John Lake, he is a world-renowned Beverly Hills expert. He has just come out and stated that most of these wrinkle fixes are nothing but glorified moisturizers. Well, recently, Dr. Lake has focused his attention away from these mainstream practices so that he can focus on revolutionary anti-aging breakthroughs. His personal clients, including myself, have dubbed this do-it-yourself technology as the age rewinder method because it literally takes decades off of your skin in the matter of minutes. I want to encourage you to check it out. All you have to do is go to bhmd1.com/haven, and they have this amazing video that's gone viral with over millions of views. Watch it, and you can learn a little bit about this amazing technology and then take that next step to get better skin and better younger looking skin. Again, that's bhmd1.com/haven. If you're on your cell phone, click that more button to get more information or click the link in the description box below. All right, back to the broadcast. So just who are the gatekeepers of the Autopen scandal? Well, Ed Martin has potentially revealed who they are. Take a watch.
I had a whistleblower in my office 10 days ago, senior Democrat, saying, look, it was these 3 people that controlled access and they were making money off of it. I don't know if I believe it yet, but the point is, I think we have to get to the bottom of it for the American people and to protect the process.
Can you characterize who the whistleblower was? It someone who worked in the Biden White House?
Biden campaign, 2020 campaign at the highest levels.
2020. And who are the 3 people they said were doing it for money?
This is the one who's, let me say it carefully.
Yeah.
The gatekeepers, different characterization of who was using the access, but the gatekeepers were Klain and Anita Dunn and Bob Bauer. And those 3 were really dominant characters in the White House. Ricchetti a little bit, and obviously Jill, but I think that was the 3.
Klain, Dunn, Bob Bauer, Jill Biden. Hey, they were the ones that were kind of hiding the fort and holding it down. Wow. Something should be done to these people. If that is in fact what is going on, these pardons should be null and void. Some of his executive orders should absolutely be null and void. In fact, a pro-energy group is actually questioning that. Take a look at this on here, or some energy groups are questioning that. And this is on Fox News. Watchdog finds no evidence Biden knew of crucial climate executive orders, and they demand answers on who signed the Autopen. It goes on. A pro-energy group is renewing its call for an investigation into over half a dozen Biden administration executive actions related to climate that it believes should be deemed null and void due to them being signed by an Autopen without any public comment from the former President Joe Biden confirming his knowledge of them. Power the Future, a nonprofit organization that advocates for America energy jobs, reviewed 8 Biden executive orders that it says were significant shifts in domestic energy policy, and said it found no evidence of the president speaking about any of them publicly, raising concerns that the orders were signed by Autopen and that he was not aware of them. These are not obscure bureaucratic memos. These were foundational shifts in American energy policy, yet not once did Joe Biden speak about them publicly. Daniel Turner, founder and executive director of Power the Future, told Fox News Digital. So you're telling me Joe Biden signs 8 orders on climate change that happens to impact, the energy, right? And very severely so. And not one mention of it publicly. Did Joe Biden even know what the hell he was doing? And I would say absolutely not. I am pissed off that Congress didn't take a stand and take the 25th Amendment when he was in office. Mind you, we would have gotten Kamala Harris. That would have been just another Autopen disaster, so to speak. Now, here's what's even more crazy. These Biden aides, according to a new book, these Biden aides were basically willing to do anything, to keep Donald Trump from being in power, so to speak. Take a watch.
These aides were not even Senate confirmed aides. These are a White House aides. These were unelected people. And one of the things that really, I think, comes out in our reporting here is that if you believe, and I think a lot of these people do sincerely believe, that Donald Trump was and is an existential threat to democracy, you can rationalize anything, including sometimes doing undemocratic things, which I think is what this person is talking about.
So they could do pretty much anything they want, undemocratic things, because Donald Trump is bad. He's a fascist. He's going to destroy democracy. So because we know he's going to do that, we're going to do whatever the hell we want. I think that is downright treasonous. Where's the line? Here's the deal. Who's to say some candidate in the future is not like a Joe Biden 2.0, right? We're going to do whatever, but you just sit there, look pretty, and smack a smile on your face. Here's the other thing that some of these books have revealed, and he references the one there. I believe it was in his book, but don't quote me on that. But it also says that these people planned on him winning another presidency. And if he won, they had a whole thing lined up on how they were going to keep Joe Biden out of the public eye so they could still be in charge. How is this not treason? How is this not elderly abuse? I mean, there's some crazy stuff here. And Jill Biden had to know she's his freaking wife. This is by far the biggest scandal of the century, and you should share this video far and wide with every single person you know, because the truth of the matter is, I don't want this happening again. And something needs to happen. There needs to be consequences for the people who did that. And if there are no consequences, this will absolutely happen again. That's why I'm also a big advocate on all the crime that took place under the Biden administration. There has to be consequences. Because if they're not, they just get worse and are more emboldened and empowered. I'd love to hear your comments on that. But as a quick reminder, get to restrictedrepublic.com. Sign up right now. Get there today. I've got so much inside information on that. It'll just blow your mind. We've got all kind of scoops that we're doing on there. Sign up at Restricted Republic. Go there now, go there today and check it out. I created that in light of all the censorship that is happening. So please check us out there and support what we do. Anyhow, I love you all. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.